So my opponent this week, Curse, has all of the Therian forms. That's right, he has every single one. Starting with Tornadus, then Landorus, then Thunderous, and then Enamorous, all Therian. So, let's get into my prep this week on how I'm going to combat all the Therian forms. So first up, we just got Choice Band Azu here. Pretty standard stuff, but there's just not a good sufficient water resist, really. So outside of like Tatsugiri, which doesn't count. So there's not really a sufficient water resist. So it was pretty easy Mon to throw on immediately. And then we got Glamora here. Another pretty easy Mon to throw on because obviously all of the Therians are flying types. So obviously Glamora is going to be pretty helpful against all of them. And then it also can help support the team with Spikes and Mortal Spin and Toxic because we are indeed Corrosion, which is important to note. Because I know Bronzong is going to be switching in to my Glamora, and that's sort of the thought process with him. Next up, we got Muck. Also, we had Spadef Glamora because obviously Tornadus, Thunderous, and Enamorous are all big threats. And the same thing with Muck, Max Spadef with the AV. Pretty much just the same thing. We got to check those guys. Next up, we had Scarf Annihilate with Rage Fist, Close Combat, U-Turn, and Final Gambit. I felt like this game was going to be too fast, and there's too many things that can threaten Annihilate. That Bulk Up doesn't really make sense. So I went ahead and decided to go with Scarf on Annihilate this week. And then we got Life Orb, Lando, Earth Power Crunch, Rock Slide, and Psychic. This actually threatens pretty much all of the opposing Therian forms with my Incarnate form. So that's pretty much the thought process here. Crunch lets me hit Bronzong, Rock Slide for the Torn and Thundy and the Enam, and then Psychic's going to hit Lando really hard. As well as Urshifu the hardest I possibly can. And Kilowattrel, it has a shit ton of Spadef as another additional switch in for Thunderous and Tornadus. And that is the prep, guys. Just a quick prep for you guys. Let's get into the battle. Okay, we are here in the battle. And looking at team preview, I immediately saw that I feel like Azu it's just clicking buttons against the entire team. So I decided to just lead Azu straight up. And my opponent leads Enamorous. I should eat this one pretty good. And I go for Liquidation here. And then the next one, I decide to risk a potential roll. Depending on sets and things like that. I decide to risk a potential roll because getting another Liquidation off is just going to be huge for my team. But unfortunately, I dropped to Moonblast crit there. That's unfortunate. Like I said, it was probably a roll anyway, so I could have died regardless. And I probably should have had more speed on my Azu in retrospect. Just something to mention there. So I'm bringing out the Glamora, and I put up a Spike because I figured he's going to save that Mon. And then I Toxic the Bronzong, Corrosion immediately coming into play as I figure Stealth Rock is going to be what's coming out. And then I switch here because I don't want to get Bulldoze, Earthquake, Psychic, whatever. But unfortunately, my opponent reveals Heavy Slam, which does a lot to Muck. I was hoping to see a Psychic move come out, obviously. But Heavy Slam actually going to do about half my Muck's health there. Not at all ideal. Fortunately, we do force it out there. We go for Knockoff. Again, my Muck is also super slow, so the Enamorous is going to outspeed me there and get up off some extra chip. So my Muck is like essentially dead at this point, and it essentially didn't check any of the big attackers. Not ideal for me in this situation. Out comes the Urshifu, Trailblazes, which now I'm getting concerned. I'm like, oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. But I still decided to just stay in there because I want to poison jab it and maybe get a poison on it if it does decide to SD in front of my mouth. So yeah, I just let the Muck die, and like I said, at this point, I'm quite concerned. However, Annihilate does have insane natural bulk, and if I get hit, I'll survive it, and then I'll get a Rage Fist boost, and then also I'm going to Terra this turn, which will boost Rage Fist as well. So he goes Pelipper. Pelipper munches, obviously. Pelipper ate it like nothing you've seen before. And now I'm looking at my team and I'm like, I don't really have anything to switch into a water move. But my Kilowattrel will live anything from non-specs Pelipper. So that's what I decide to do. I go ahead, switch to my Kilowattrel, and Kilowattrel just gets dropped. It just dies. It just fucking dies. It's just crazy. It's crazy. It's gone. So that's unfortunate. Kilowattrel once again does nothing. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? I bring out the Landers though, because it's gonna threaten it with Rock Slide. So I'm pretty sure that's just what I click. Click Rock Slide, and then I'm going to click Crunch after this, which will drop the Bronzong. Unfortunately, I am indeed down 4-3 here. Out comes the Tornadus. It's going to force me out because it just does crazy damage with Terraflying Hurricane. Fortunately, Annihilate, once again, thanks to its natural bulk, is going to be able to survive that and get huge damage off with Rage Fist as it drops the Psychic. At this point, I'm down pretty good. It's going to be probably going to take a throw for my opponent at this point for him to lose. But Landers is still the fastest thing on the field because we do speed tie with Thunders. So like that, well, besides Tornadus, obviously. But we can kill Tornadus. So it might come down to me trying to dodge a Hurricane, but with Rain, it's going to be very tough at this point to try to win the game. As I'm going to Power Gym the the Thunderous, which does great damage. Unfortunately, he's Wild Charge. He's not even a special attacker. So my Glamor's EVs are not going to come into play there as it takes about half. And then it's going to die to Surging Strikes anyway, which it would have died anyway. So really not majorly important. Then I'm going to bring out my Landorus to click the big Psychic on the Urshifu. Going to kill the Urshifu with no issues there. Out comes the Pelipper. Also going to Rock Slide, kill it with no issues. But unfortunately, with the Rain up, Hurricane cannot miss. And that'll be the game. Terraflying Tornadus, once again, proving that it's broken. I have another video about why this mon is broken. It is crazy. It is crazy. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. Like it if you like it, and subscribe for more. I'll catch you guys next time.